Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in. My name is Linda. Welcome to my channel. What I have for you today is an elemental reading. So I'm going to pull cards covering each of the four modalities here, earth, water, fire, and air. And over each modality, we're going to be looking at topics that are governed by that element. So earth will look at topics regarding work, finances, career, family life, the mundane reality. The fire element is going to cover topics regarding what things may be challenging you at this time. We could also, depending on the cards that come out, it might also look at passion, creativity, and sexuality. The water reading will look at topics relating to your emotions, any feelings, emotions, anything that could be relating also to relationships and love. And the air element, of course, will cover topics relating to communications, ideas, thoughts, concepts. All right, let's go ahead now and get into the shuffle. So here we are, we have all the cards shuffled and laid out. So let's get started with the earth reading. We have Knight of Cups reversed, King of Pentacles reversed, Queen of Swords upright, and Two of Cups. Wow. So a lot of court cards here, 3 court cards here, along with this Two of Cups. So I would have to say that probably what we're looking at here is a relationship with perhaps a third-party energy. We have Ace of Wands, Two of Wands, and the Sun in reverse here. This is a really interesting spread. I'm using the Morgan Greer deck here in the top row and the Spolia deck in the bottom row, if anyone's interested. All right. So yeah, I feel that what we may be looking at here is a relationship where there is some disappointment due to there perhaps being an extramarital affair or some additional person, another person in the relationship that's causing some kind of upset here with the Knight of Cups in reverse. If not an extramarital affair or a third person, what it could be here is that people could be, that you could be maybe splitting from your current partner in order to open something with a new person that feels more in alignment with what you need and what you want. Perhaps there's been some dissatisfaction in an existing relationship, or something that's been maybe closing out for a long time. Perhaps an existing relationship that's been established for quite some time is closing due to the maybe irreconcilable differences, or just simply growing apart. It doesn't have to be because of some awful reason or some kind of betrayal or something, but simply that, you know, the fire has maybe diminished between two people and you may be just simply ready to move on to a new love interest that has been showing up recently, someone that you feel very passionately about. And I mean, for some people, perhaps because you have the Two of Wands here in this bottom row here alongside of the Ace of Wands. So Ace of Wands, Two of Wands. What I'm feeling here is that there is a new person around that is someone you feel very passionately towards. There's a lot of attraction. There's a lot of desire. Look at all that red. And so where it's leaving you is in the position where now you need to choose between your existing partner and somebody new that's in your environment. That's what I feel with these two cards here. And the Sun as well alongside of it. It's just more of affirmation that there is something bright and hopeful and what's the right word? Like your vitality has been ignited here with the Sun card. Even though the Sun is in reverse, it's still bringing a lot of fire and life and light to your situation. I would say from what I can see here and what I feel is that your current or your existing relationship has like the flame has diminished. There's like a lack of desire there, a lack of passion. Perhaps your interests have changed. Like maybe what brought you together initially is now not as unifying as it once was. And so I'm seeing you here as the Queen of Swords. And this King of Pentacles could be the existing partner. So never mind about the gender. It's just about the archetypal energies. So why I'm saying that I'm seeing you as the Queen of Swords is that I'm hearing determination. So you are here in your own truth. And your truth is that perhaps you're dissatisfied with your current partnership and you're looking for a more aligned union that's has greater equality and greater passion in it than perhaps your existing one. There could also be here something about, this could be a business partnership too. It doesn't have to be romance, but because the Two of Cups was here, I was feeling that. But what it could be here is that your existing business partnership is no longer satisfying. Perhaps it was a financial loss as well. Like maybe people came together creatively and with a purpose to do something in business together, and perhaps it hasn't worked out, and you may be feeling a little disappointed in that, but mostly you're just feeling here very, I'm seeing you as the Queen of Swords in this position upright, as just simply being very, what's the right word? Like you're just seeing things for what they are, honestly. There's no, you're not, I don't necessarily feel like you're bitter or resentful or disappointed, yeah, but not in a way of like blaming. You're just being discerning. There's discernment in the Queen of Swords here. Discernment and honesty is saying like, this isn't working. I'm ready to move on. Here's this other thing showing up that feels a lot more equal and more in alignment. There's more passion and creativity in it. So now you need to choose. Two of Wands, you need to choose. But the Sun is basically giving illumination, brightness, vitality, life force, light, happiness, enthusiasm for what I'm seeing here as the new option that's coming in. So I hope that is clarifying for someone. I feel like that's all there is here for me to talk about. So I'm going to move on now to the fire element. I love this bottom row though, I have to say, like, okay, sometimes, right, like, sometimes something new will come along and it might seem more exciting and fresh and invigorating than what you've been doing or who you've been with, that starts to get a bit like tired and lackluster. So there's a couple things here I would say about that. Like, either you need to decide whether or not you're replacing something old with something new just because you're bored and it feels tedious, or has this actually really run its course, and are you ready for something new that you've actually invoked by your own manifestation, your own truth, your own vision, your own self-loyalty, has called in something new that is actually in a more clear alignment with your values, principles, with your passions, with your creativity. And if that's the case, then yes, move on to the new thing. But you also need to evaluate here, I feel, if you're going to give up too quickly on something that actually holds promise, but that maybe is having a bit of a dip in its moment, right? So just take a look at that. Two of Wands is in the upright position. Ace of Wands is in the upright position. So I do feel like there is like kind of a leaning towards passion and creativity. But I guess you need to decide here with this Two of Wands whether or not you're going to inject more creativity, passion, life force, and whatever, sexuality, sensuality into this existing or old thing to breathe new life into it, like the sun, or are you going to move on to a new choice that's showing up? I wish I could be more helpful to you there, but I feel like you need to make a choice here. That's what the Two of Wands is saying. You need to make a choice. Am I going to move on to something new and fresh and discard the old thing? Or am I going to use this moment here to evaluate what's existing and see if there is actually still something there that just needs to be if there's something fresh that needs to be brought to an existing thing. Okay? That's the earth reading. I'm going to move on. So, fire. Fire, we have the sun again. Wow. Ace of Swords upright. Knight of Swords in reverse, and Temperance. It's a nice row. All right, feeling that. Bottom row we have Seven of Cups, Queen of Swords in reverse, 2 Court Swords cards in reverse, and the Hierophant in reverse here. Okay, let me just tune in here for a second. There we go. That's better. All right. This is interesting. So in the fire element, we're looking at challenges, right? But we could also look at sexuality, passion, and creativity with the fire element. So just apply this message as it resonates, or as it is necessary or relevant for your current situation. So these 2 Court Swords cards in reverse are interesting. Knight of Swords, Queen of Swords in reverse. So Sun and Temperance sandwiching the Ace of Swords and the Knight of Swords reversed. What is this? What I'm feeling with this energy, sorry that took so long, I needed a minute to really get in the energy. What I'm feeling with this is that there's some kind of energy of either a person or a situation that has a disruptive energy. But that disruptive energy actually brings about a shift that is much needed, that helps you or the people in your group or your community or your family to actually have a shift out of an old paradigm and into a new one. So there's a kind of release from like some kind of systematic organization or institutionalized thing that is a little too fixed and is a little too old school or too traditional, that needs to be transformed into something that's a little more current, contemporary, liberated, and relevant to the times. That's what I'm getting with this reading. There's a disruptive energy that at first seems obviously any kind of disruption is it can be annoying, it can be just by its nature it creates transformation and change, which even though is needed, sometimes that can feel irritating or annoying because it's disrupting what is already in place. But that disruptive energy brings about clarity and truth. It brings about an illumination. It brings vitality and life into something which may be stagnant and stayed and too fixed and too traditional and too old school and too... There's like a limitation that has been long superseded by something traditional that is then becoming stagnant because it hasn't been upgraded for a while. And so this energy of disruption coming about by something spontaneous or brash or fast moving is helping to transform something into a more contemporary, current and relevant state of being. But for some people in this situation, the disruption, and it's definitely a beneficial energy, like with the sun coming out. Even I actually really like Hierophant reversed in this reading, also Temperance. It's like a rebalancing effect that's occurring. But for some people, there may be a kind of forced look at the self and one's beliefs and one's position in life and why and how they're there and how am I supposed to say that? I'm getting this energy of something being ingrained for so long that it becomes stagnant, but more than, it's like fixed and stagnant and too ingrained in its ways that it kind of starts to become irrelevant. So there's this energy with these sort of court card action oriented type of spontaneous brash, unfiltered shake-up. It's a shake-up. There's something being shaken up here. And at first it might seem annoying to the people that are in that space of traditions and fixed nature and what has been already established. But for other people, and in particular for the youth, that energy is long overdue for a change. So it's a very beneficial energy, but for some people, they might feel a little disturbed or a little disrupted, irritated by something that is spontaneous and sudden, that forces them to change the way they look at what they've been doing and how they've been doing it. All right, I hope that's helpful. I do love the Sun and the Temperance card in this reading. It's giving a lot of healing energy, clarification, modernization in a good way, balancing and harmonizing. There's like heart opening energy. It's a purification. Sunlight, I don't know why, but I want to say kills bacteria. This angelic energy is bringing cosmic light. It's getting a bit esoteric now, but that's what I'm feeling. Cosmic light into a situation. And this Hierophant reverse is something that has been too fixed and too stubborn and too in its ways for too long. And it's getting shaken up now because it's in the reverse position. It's like there is an energy of change, and it's moving from something that's been stagnant and fixed to something that is getting movement and purification with the Temperance and the Sun card. I feel like these three major arcanas are working together to shift something that is old and outdated to bring in fresh new energy, to enliven it, to reinvigorate it, to freshen it. I like these candles here in this Hierophant. They kind of look like middle fingers up. It's like fuck you to the establishment. There is something that's needing to change here, and it's getting that change. It's getting that wake up that it needs. It's getting disrupted in a good way. All right. I feel that's it for this fire reading. I'm going to move on now to water. Nine of Swords reversed, Nine of Pentacles upright, Eight of Wands upright, Four of Pentacles, Knight of Swords in reverse. It's the same card we just had in the fire reading. Nine of Wands, Ten of Coins reversed. So we have three nines in this reading. Okay. There's no major arcana cards in the spread. Just one court card. So that's interesting. So what am I feeling here? Oh, sorry. The water reading here is about emotions, feelings, and relationships. But because there's three nines in this reading, I want to say that the energy of this spread is not about another person or your interaction with another person. This is you only concerned with your own feelings at this particular moment. So something is changing here. There's definitely movement and change in this reading with Nine of Swords reversed and Knight of Swords reversed. I feel that there has been some shift in your thinking that is helping you to see yourself in a different way, in a much more loving way, in a much more compassionate way. And that shift in energy is activating some greater awareness of your own personal space and your own boundaries. It's also helping you to see perhaps where you also need to disrupt your, you know how in the fire reading we were talking about disruption with the Knight of Swords in reverse. There's also sort of like that energy is being echoed here a little bit, that the need for you to disrupt your own thought forms and get some freedom from a looping pattern of thoughts that has been keeping you restricted in some type of self-judgmental anxiety, creating and perpetuating thoughts and feelings that make you maybe feel any type of way, So you're disrupting some kind of pattern, or this message here is a reminder to you that you have the ability to disrupt your own thought forms that are running constantly, so that you can find a space to be more compassionate and aware of your own magnificence, of your own glory. Look at this card. I love it. It's one of my favorite cards in the deck, the Nine of Pentacles. This is your true nature, like this type of independent, sovereign, beautiful, abundant, capable, connected energy. Glorious. So this disruption is needed from your current thought forms that are running to be able to remember that you are this. You need to remember that you are this. And give yourself space to review that energy and remind yourself and affirm it and keep affirming it and keep practicing it. There's Nine of Wands here is talking about your endurance and your strength. That's also something that is needed to be reminded on a pretty regular basis, that you are that. to keep giving yourself that confirmation of your magnificence, of your sovereignty, of your abundance, of your capability, of your strength, of your beauty, of your creativity, of your worthiness. Okay? And for some people watching this reading, I feel like there is a bit of an energy here where you may need, with the Ten of Pentacles reversed and the Four of Pentacles upright here, I feel like for some people, this paradigm shift here is helping you to see that there is a need for boundaries, maybe just at this moment. I mean, always boundaries are important, but I feel like there could be some particular trigger there could be a person here. There could be a person here that's maybe helping trigger this reminder, this awareness. And maybe there could be a need for a little space from someone, even if just temporarily, so you can find this space again and really ground it and anchor it into your awareness to be able to maintain it and exist and operate from this place all the time. But you might just need a temporary break from someone so that you can find the solution that you're looking for. It's interesting that we have Nine of Pentacles upright here and the Ten of Pentacles in reverse here. Sometimes in readings, I feel like if I see that a reversal, the message is that we need to go back to the previous number in that sequence and in that suit to master the lesson of that number. So if we've got the Ten of Pentacles reversed and the Nine of Pentacles upright, it's kind of like a double Nine of Pentacles. But the Ten of Pentacles is kind of about family, community, inheritance, legacy, all that kind of stuff. But I feel in this reading, it's just more of a reminder for you to remember your independence. You can belong to a group, you can belong to a family, but you need to establish your own fortune, your own legacy, your own worldly gifts and presentations, right? Like you can be part of something, but you also need to be able to do and present things in your own way, on your own time, with your own ideas. All right? I feel that with the Nine of Pentacles and the Four of Pentacles, with this Eight of Wands in between, like there's something that you need to do for your own expression, independently. All right, I feel like I've covered what I need to do with this reading for the water element, so let's move on to the air. We have Ace of Pentacles upright, High Priestess upright, Page of Pentacles, Two of Wands in reverse, High Priestess again, double High Priestess, Two of Swords reversed, and the Hanged Man in reverse. Okay, air. Just give me a second here to tune into this energy. High Priestess twice in the upright. That's pretty awesome. There's definitely, I feel like you are bringing forward some deep, mystical, esoteric, hidden knowledge forward. For yourself mainly. This is interesting. There's two twos here from the minors. Two of Wands reversed and Two of Swords in reverse. And then we have the two High Priestess both upright. Number 2 from the Major Arcana. Just give me a second here. There's a particular message that I need to bring forward. Okay, what I'm getting with this reading is that if you've been going through something particular in the recent moments, like the last couple of weeks, let's say, or even the last couple of months, but this is kind of recent, that you have been maybe struggling to understand what it's actually really about. Like if you've been kind of emotional and having some difficult times, just in the way that you feel, in the way that you are managing or feeling your just your state of being through the days. There's something here about the need for you to bring forward through writing. Even if it's just like, if it's not about, this is a communication reading, right? Air. But what I'm sensing here is that there's a need for you to pull out the information, to cognize it by writing. And it's not about presenting that writing to anyone. It's just about you having a stream of consciousness that helps bring those swirling around ideas and pieces of data and information that's within you, that's coming from a higher intelligence, coming from your higher self, from a higher wisdom. But if you still are not really feeling clear about it, the two pentacles here are saying like there's a need for communication in the physical in a physical way, like you writing things down, even without having an agenda for what you want to write, but just opening a blank piece of paper and starting to write and letting your stream of consciousness provide you with the insight that will help you gain clarity over what it is that you've actually been going through in the last couple of months. Because I get this feeling like there has been some really profound shifts, but there may not be a cognizance of what that actually is for you and what that means. And it's, like we don't always need to know all the time, but it does help to actually be available to the transformations that we're going through if there's some language that can be applied to the experience to help organize the thoughts and feelings. To help even just like to help surrender to the experience, to the shifts that are happening. Because I feel like with the Hangman in reverse here, there's this energy of uncertainty, of like a slightly still feeling like there's a bit of a struggle, that you are not able to really anchor in and understand and submit and surrender to the paradigm shift that's happening. But I really feel like, and look, that's interesting. You can see in the Hangman's hand here, there's, it could be anything, but I'm going to say it's a writing tool. And then here you have this rune here for the sun. And I guess these are probably runes down here too. Let me see closely. Yeah, I feel like those are runes. I feel like writing is a really key message in this particular reading. You need to just be the channel for information that wants to come through you. And all you got to do is just hold and maintain the space of the intention for letting that higher consciousness come through you. And you just act as the instrument for it. And I feel like you'll be able to gain clarity and understanding about what your experience has been over the last short while. And you'll gain clarity and understanding. The mystery can be revealed if you create the space for that to happen.